for it to unfreeze the transitioning page, but hello, welcome to the second episode of Rise of Sagemist. I am looking over to make sure when I am talking my voice is actually being picked up because this is a pre-recorded session. Yay! Okay, so to start things off, we are gonna have a little pop quiz. I feel like I'm Jay on where I'm just like random bit here. But if our players were paying attention to anything that happened in the first session, they might get some luck and inspo. We'll see. So, question number 1. Luth.
Yes.
If you were paying attention, who was the first person that Natari telepathically spoke to in episode 1?
She telepathically spoke to the Ron Weasley character, Puckett?
Puckett! Yes, that is correct, because that's who she talked to first. Ron
Nailed
Weasley
it.
character. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's harder than
I did it. I was gonna say Levrin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did Dari remember who?
Chris,
Nailed
this
it.
one-
Luth?
Chris,
I was
this
gonna
one's
say
a
Luth.
Man.
a little bit more difficult. I'll
Good,
accept
yes,
a couple of
I'll get that
answers in case you don't know off the top of your head. What drink did Kiaran order when we were at the food court? As Kiaran raises her hand.
I know.
Whose question? Who's this for?
Yeah, who's this going to?
Wait, do you know it, Natari?
Yes.
Okay, you can answer it.
Glow wine.
Glow wine! Yes, glow wine. It is known for its fairy fire
yeah.
proproperties. that
Who
is
who
used-
was it for though?
For
For
you,
me.
but the look on
Oh,
your face
yeah,
was
I
like,
wouldn't
I don't.
Why would I care about what my students are drinking?
I wasn't there.
Oh, who was the question for? That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Levrin, we're gonna go to you. Who is, without looking it up, your arch nemesis sire, also known as Knothead?
Alexandrin.
Yes, that is correct. Alexandrin, the high elf, studious
Noble D bag. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Yeah.
the Draco Malfoy of Rise of Sagemist. Kiaran,
Crap, I'm not gonna know it.
let's see. This one. Okay. Who was the professor that taught you all how to use your avatars and or summon them?
Not Professor. I can't remember how it's spelled, but I think it sounds like Knopf.
Yes, correct. It's
Okay.
Professor Knopf. N-O-P-H.
Okay.
Not
I wrote-
counting how other people.
I think I just like put Knoff or something.
Currently, y'all are 4 for 4. Chris, no pressure.
I mean, 4 for 5 isn't bad.
Okay, Chris. Last question. What was the book called that Merrick found in the library as he like looks at the answer at the end of session 1?
That was the Black Plague book.
Yes, it is. So you all got them all correctly. So you can all add 1 luck and 1 inspo.
Ooh.
That can be used for this session. In this session only. Don't stock those.
I don't know what that means or how to do that.
So
but-
for those that don't know, because that's a good question, a luck in this particular case is a reroll. So it only works person to person. Well, person to DM. So if I roll like a nat 20 and I'm about to hit you with a crit and you have a luck, you can cause me to re-roll my roll, but I have to take my next roll. Same thing if you roll a really shitty roll and you would like to re-roll it, you can use a luck to re-roll it. You cannot, however, use your luck to assist Luth from getting psychic damage from incorrectly putting his name in a book.
Kiarn would
Okay,
do that.
I didn't
Kiarn would help.
incorrectly put it. I
You
asked
put
what would happen,
The wrong
and
name.
the doctor, or not the doctor, the professor said, "Why don't you try it?" Instead of saying, "Hey, don't do that; it'll hurt you."
I mean, do
But you know what?
tell
That's
your
good,
kids
though.
don't touch the fiery stove, or do you just let them touch the fiery stove?
You tell them, "Don't touch the fucking fiery stove."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit harsh for kids.
You don't let the
No.
kid.
So
Like there's fire.
tell
What happens
them-
if I touch the fire?
I'm just
Grab it
saying,
and find
they
out.
learn a lot quicker the other way.
So what you do is you say,
You'd
"Hey,
think that.
touch that. That's gonna hurt you," and then they do it anyway and learn the hard way anyway.
And then they do it
Then
again.
that happens. Yeah. Now, if you had said it's gonna hurt you, and Luth still wrote James in the book, then Luth's being an idiot. But the president was just like, write him and find out.
That was the
Once
quickest
again,
way
remind
to
me
get a
never
whole crowd
to
of
leave
kids.
kids with
like,
you.
You were like, Luth was the example used of why you put your correct name in the book. Because now it's not like Luth did it and then he got psychic damage and he went back to his place and then Home Slice McGee #2 went up there. It was like Luth did it, everybody saw, and they were just like, oh,
Luth was near
okay.
the end of the line anyway.
But yes, and then inspo is an added d6 that you can add to your specific roll. So if you roll it and you don't think it's good enough, you can add a d6. You just have to use it before I actually tell you what the outcome is for the different thing. You can use it on an ability check or to hit, add it to hit, or for a save, or anything that you roll for that you just don't think is high enough.
Where do y'all normally record these at? Like on the sheets?
Normally I just put a piece of paper out and just put one and one and just keep like
There's
looking
a
inspo
little
trackers
button up at the
because
top.
after end of these sessions, like, they expire. So if you haven't used them, like, you'll have to get more next session. That type of deal.
There's,
See, there's
an
inspiration
for
button.
inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah, in a stream situation where we were live streaming it, there would be an opportunity to have more than one of each, and you would kind of need to keep a tally. And that way, if you used one or you didn't have, you used all of them and someone wanted to donate more to you, then you would, be able to do that and keep up with it. But since we're just having one of each here, it's much simpler.
Yeah.
For the day.
Other than that, I want to go over, we kind of briefly touched it last session. And by last session, I mean like super brief. But we spoke about magical surges and what was the other thing? I have it here in my old book notes. But essentially, if these affect your characters, they add kind of like temporary buffs to you for X amount of time. You'll know when they happen because I'll actually tell you, like, if we're in combat and you're hit by like a magical surge, I'll let you know at the top of the round just so you can kind of like plan that into your action whenever it comes around. But basically, magical
Let's empower
surges,
the fireballs of this.
yes, it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to backfire here shortly. But magical surges is free magic. So if we're in combat and you get buffed by a magical surge, that means any spells you do, no matter how many, you still have to like be able to do those amount of things normally. But any magic that you use in that round is free. You don't expend any spell slots. You can cast however many that you want. It is literally free magic. You just need the action and or bonus action to be able to do it. It still falls under kind of the rules. Like currently bonus actions are either bonus action abilities or like cantrips that you can use for your character. Same for action, you can use a spell, but essentially maximize like whatever spell that you have that normally is like super OP but is like really high level, Magical Surges is probably the best time to use it because it lasts for a round and then after that it's gone. So the other thing is Embolden, which lasts for roughly an hour, give or take, but it allows you advantage on literally all of your rolls. Like everything you have to do that requires a roll, you have advantage on it for like an hour. However, it is concentration, so if you are getting hit while you are emboldened, you will have to make a concentration check to make sure that you maintain that concentration. However, you're emboldened, so you have advantage for keeping your concentration on it. So just keep that in mind. It's very useful, as you can probably no doubt tell. But they're kind of like rare things that kind of like spring into existence. But I will be sure to let you know if your character is either of those things. Also, rule of thumb, if you fall below half HP at any point, just send me a message because I have a little status icon thingy that I can make appear over your character to show that they're like super injured. just for clarity's sake. And then if you ever go above that amount, just message me again and be like, I'm good, and I'll take it off your character thing. But
poor Luth.
Oh,
Poor
bedtime.
Luth is going to walk around the academy
yeah.
with this thing over his
you're like
over his thing.
emboldened, you have a magical surge, and you're below half HP, so you have all these things just like shining on your character icon. But those are just a couple of cool things. I'll try and add more as time progresses, but those are the only ones that I can think of offhand. Other than that, we are going to go play our trailer. We're going to come back. I'm going to do a brief synopsis of what happened in episode 1, and we are going to get started because fun times. So, trailer, and we'll see you all shortly. Bye-boys. And we're back, and I can see my voice noggin thing, voice meter stuff. So, okay, quickly a recap because a couple of things happened in the first episode, which I will play some music so that it's not completely like, what's it called? Quiet? Anyways, in episode 1, some of our students arrived to Rise of Sagemist in various carriages and carts that are known for traveling around Baston's Keep and picking up students in various areas and bringing them to Sagemist. This is something called initiation or orientation, however you want to call it, that happens roughly at least once a month. New students aren't brought to the academy on like a yearly basis. It's more like a monthly basis. And they just kind of funnel in and get incorporated into all the different magic things that are happening whenever they arrive. There's obviously like the fundamentals that they have to learn just so that they're familiar with like the basics of magic. But after that, the classes and things that they take are more freeing as far as like, I want to learn about necromancy or something of that now. But anyways, they arrive at the academy. Luth, Natari, and Puckett end up becoming fast friends. They soon meet up with Kiaran, more fast friends. Natari accidentally bumps into Levrin. Yes, you guessed it, fast friends. So,
More friends, very fast.
our group enters into the main area of Rise of Sagemist. They see this magical tree that is kind of surrounded by very elegantly laid bricks. They find out this is the Saltmire, which has a picture of a gnome with a large great sword in his hand, and it has like in memory of brick in front of that sculpture, just like engraved. They round about it, meet up in their collective group. They find out from Headmistress Faerun that they are all there for a reason, to learn about magic, whatever means it may be. She informs Merrick to give them a quick guide of the school, bring them to the common area room where they collectively gather as different houses. They were all sorted into either House Har, House in Boots, House Coolidge, or House Torrun. Sorry. Between those houses depends on like who their mascot would be and things of that nature, yada yada. They all put their things in their respective dormitories. They learn that their actual place of living can be customized. Well, most of them learn that their actual place of living can be customized. Some of them think it's fine as is. And then they all meet down to go to... actually, while they're in their dormitories, they are all brought into a large room together as all the collective new students, and they realize that they have to sign their name in a book, which will pretty much draw their magic lineage, so that any spells and things that they do within Sagemist can be tracked back to them respectively. Luth, not getting a yes or no definitive answer from Professor Caspin, decides to write a name that is not his in the book, to which he is faced with a large psychic backlash, and it kind of knocks him on his butt. He realizes, probably should write my own name, puts it in, and it is engulfed with arcane energy and disappears into the book. All the other students do the same, including a certain Alexandin, also phrased to be knothead, and other sleuthly, names accordingly, making fun. Because he's a jerk, and jerks don't get to be called their real names in the academy. They all have a little interaction because Alexandin kind of makes fun, well, not kind of, he definitely makes fun of Natari for her particular druid garb that she is wearing, which isn't as fancy as he is accustomed to. That being said, he ultimately misty steps away, and the other students decide to go get something to eat. They arrive at the food court, all getting various foods, seeing how, extravagant this school is, as it can be a bit overwhelming. But overall, they get food, they meet up at the garden area in that place, and also meet up with Professor Littlefoot, who is the abjuration professor. He does classes a little bit different, gives Kiaran a week of survival rate for currently being at the school, to which she accepts the challenge and says that she will last much longer than that. Littlefoot...
She's going to last the full years.
She's going to last the full... So you're going to go the whole year
Yeah.
without going to 0 HP once.
That's her goal.
Okay.
That should be everyone's goal,
so-
personally. But
That being said, Professor Littlefoot's classes usually deal with the mist, which takes place outside of Sagemist, so there will obviously be some leverage there. The students finish their food, sleep for the night, wake up. Well, most of them wake up in the morning, except for Luth, who is woken up by Puckett because he's late. To which Luth scrambles down the stairs, makes it to the common room area, and they find out that they're going to have their avatar classes with Professor Knopf, who is a satyr man, and he directs them to his classroom where they are all able to eventually conjure their specific avatar. The one of importance may have been Luth because he kind of failed his psychic check, but his intelligence saved, to be specific. But he ended up creating an avatar that he has not encountered before, which, from what Professor Knopf said, your avatar can only look like something that you've kind of come in contact with sometime in your life. That of note, everyone else who was used as guinea pigs, more or less, is responsible for teaching their entire house how to conjure avatars. Kiaran and the House Har pretty much they all get knocked down on their feet because the big amount of psychic energy that manifests from their perfect conjurations of their avatars is a bit too much for them to digest in that moment. So they all like flatline for a sec.
She's
But-
too good of a teacher.
Yeah,
you know?
she's like the best teacher.
Yeah. She can't help it if they can't handle her quality,
Like-
high level. Yes.
Oh my god.
how
It's not her fault.
How quickly, it's not my fault.
Oh my gosh. You cannot
You
make
weren't
this
strong enough. There's nothing wrong with my
So-
program.
After everyone conjures their avatars, the Professor Knopf suggests that they go to the library, get more familiar with the school in general, but the library is definitely a place that they should go see. Kiaran asks Merrick if he would be able to direct them there. He agrees. They arrive at the library shortly after, and they encounter a certain Howlin, who is the quote-unquote librarian of the Archive of Knowledge, as it's called. She asks the librarian if there is any books or knowledge on how to not get psychic feedback from everything you do in this academy. Mostly to help out Luth, who... Nothing against Luth, he just doesn't know a lot about magic, which is fine. But, Howlin directs her and, some of the other students to a particular area that might be beneficial, to which they go. And during that time, Merrick notices a book on a shelf that is glowing kind of ominously with like this dark arcane energy. He draws the book from the shelf and ultimately ends up opening it. The book itself is called The Black Plague, if I am not mistaken. And as soon as he opens it, he is consumed by this darkness. The entire room kind of like fades away, and he's in this dark area. And not long after being there, he is approached by a woman that asks him one thing: what do you desire? And that is where we are going to open up this episode. So
Funny, I don't remember that last bit at all.
he blacked
I remember
out.
it.
It's fine.
I
Most
remember
people
it
black
now.
out. So this woman stands before you, and she is asking you, Merrick, what do you desire? And yeah, she's just like looking at you.
complicated question.
Complicated question, how?
Well, who are you?
I am known as Raven. At least, that's the name I am most familiar with.
I'm also smart enough to know that creatures don't just appear out of nowhere, asking what I desire.
This is true. It still does
There's
not
always
change
a
the
kid.
question.
Perhaps I don't want to give you that answer.
If that is what you wish.
So why are you seeking me?
I am not seeking anyone in particular. You'll find that I am more or less bound to this place.
And what is this place?
Roll a history check.
I will. I don't think I got big. Oh, it's not bad. 16?
Sweet. She kind of begins to express the general knowledge of the Black Plague and how she more or less is just familiar with the fact that she's always been here. The Black Plague itself is something, as we said before, that a lot of magic users have used to kind of give them a benefit in the war that was brewing some years back. It can be a lot of things, whether someone has a very rich desire or not, or it can be just this black space, black space of nothingness, tongue twister, that is just as you are seeing it currently, Merrick.
What would Merrick know that, though?
He would know it from having served in the war and being around people that were affected from the Black Plague.
So this is your prison, then?
Perhaps. Depends on if you consider it a prison or not.
Well, what I always desire is the knowledge and abilities to defeat my enemies.
Is that what you wish?
Dupe me the same. That's what I wish. No. It is not what I wish.
Very well.
So are we just to hang out here in the darkness forever? In awkward silence.
You're allowed to leave whenever you wish. You just need to close the book.
And when I return and open it, you'll be here waiting.
Yes, I believe I will.
Well, I bid you adieu. And I'll close the book.
You close the book, and almost like a shunt, it sucks in all the darkness, and you are back in the library. Can I have you roll a Constitution save?
I can. The only thing I'm good at. That's a natural 20
Nice.
Oh shit.
for 27.
You stand there, kind of unaffected by, the thing that just happened. It doesn't seem to have latched onto you. The book itself still seems to be in perfect condition. The darkness is kind of like embedded around it. And as you look around, you notice that your height's a bit off. Like, from where you were standing previously, your height's slightly askew. You're definitely a couple of shelves below where you last were standing. And you look down at your hands, and they're quite younger than what you last remember. Like, they're not your oldish Merrick hands. And you, like, reach up, touch your cheek. It's a lot more youthful. And you're not quite sure what just happened.
Does anybody see me right now?
No, the particular area that you found this book was, like, down aisle that wasn't occupied by anyone else.
How much shorter am I?
Let me look at your character sheet just to give
probably
an
didn't
idea. Oh, I don't think
I'm
you have
probably
it.
6'6".
So normally you're 6'6". You are about like 5'6", give or take.
So what am I, 12 now?
My God.
It's like pre-puberty?
Not. Good lord.
So much.
All of a sudden, younger than Luth.
Does the armor still fit? Like, you were wearing armor and shit, weren't you?
Yeah, your clothing
be so funny.
has seemed to like change to fit you in your particular
Oh,
moment.
you man! I wanted that to be too big. I wanted
Just
it
like
to
giant
be too
clothes.
big. I wanted him and his dad's armor. That's what I wanted to see.
It's like, what's this random 12-year-old doing in the library now?
So I'm going to, with the book, I'm going to make a beeline to whichever professor I'm probably most comfortable with.
Okay, roll a d20, just.
16.
Okay. You decide to try and track down Professor Caspin, because he is technically the illusion expert.
You the dude. Okay.
Beelining your way back to the steps of Grand. You're pretty much like.
Would
"Get
we see
me-"
him beelining out of the library?
I would have tried to be
What's
stinky.
your passive perceptions? Because ultimately, he would just like look like another student to you. So, I'm just gonna
13.
say.
Mine's a plus
Not really.
5.
Well, no, you're
You're passive. It'll be
Yeah,
below
hers
your
is
saving
15.
throws.
Roll a
Okay.
stealth check, Merrick.
Oh, 15.
give me a one. Give me a one.
I'm going to use that luck.
He's like, I am not getting caught right now.
30-20.
20. Okay.
Priorities.
Yeah, y'all aren't able to notice him.
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
I'm gonna say there's one person. There's only really one person in particular he does not want to notice that he is de-aged.
Oh
And
no!
I think we know who it is.
You?
I would have been like, my passive perception related to Merrick would be different than it is for everything else. It would have been
It's
like way
double.
up there. Yes.
You make it to Professor Caspin's study. You are familiar with the teachers have like their lounge, and they also have like their classrooms wherever they decide. Sometimes they're on the same floor, sometimes they're not. Anyways, you being Merrick know exactly where Professor Caspin probably is, and you like proceed to knock on his door, and he says, "Just a moment, please." And not too long happens. He opens the door. and then kind of like looks down. Yes, may I help you? And he's like adjusting one of the cuffs on his collar.
Professor, we have a problem. Do I still have my normal like older voice, or do I have like a younger voice?
As you in your mind, your voice is like really, really deep. What comes out?
It's like Chip and Dale.
Professor, we have a problem.
Yes. Can I help you? Well,
This is Merrick.
We don't have any students named Merrick. I purposely memorize my entire roster.
I don't have time for this. I am. What is my title? Or down somewhere. I am Merrick, the captain of your Academy Guard.
Oh my. Come in. He like ushers you inside and closes the door.
I was in the library, and one of the books was glowing, and of course, you know me, I like to read.
Yes.
And I opened the book, and then I hand him the book.
I don't want to touch it, to be fair.
I set it down on your desk.
Yes, over there.
There was a darkness that consumed me, and a woman that went by the name of Raven was insistent on me wishing something. I did have the wherewithal to not wish for something, but when I closed the book, I had turned into this.
And can you turn back?
I didn't do this to myself.
Right. Well, he kind of like studies you for a bit. You all giving off quite a bit of arcane presence. Tell you what. Do you get tired?
Excuse me?
Do you sleep?
Yes, I sleep.
Well, would you mind becoming susceptible to the dream spell?
Oh, yes. I don't believe I'm that other race that I was before. Yes, I can fall asleep.
Well, lay down comfortably. I don't want you passing out. That's way more paperwork than I care to fill out today.
All right.
And he casts sleep. If you want to resist, it's a wisdom save of 15.
No, I'll unfortunately let him do it.
Okay. As you do it, you find yourself like knocked out. And shortly after, in like your dream presence, Professor Caspin arrives in kind of like an astral projection form. Right, well, oh, get up. This book you speak of, it had a dark presence, and you opened it?
Didn't appear to have a dark presence when I opened it, no.
Oh.
It was just glowing.
I see.
But when I did open it, it consumed all the space I was within in darkness.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I imagine the book is cursed, or at least on some level. I've never seen anything that could change your appearance in this way. Any particular happenings that took place in this area?
No, she was insistent on asking me what I desired. And hesitant, I eventually did say what I desired. And then she asked specifically if I wished for that to happen. I said goodbye and closed the book.
Nice. Well, do you... Let's see. Most complicated. Well, You can still manifest your avatar, yes?
I believe so.
We shall try something. And if it works, hopefully you will not receive any backlash from it.
All right.
And he kind of like wavers and vanishes from your dream state. And shortly after, you find yourself waking up much sooner, as if he kind of like canceled the dream spell.
Are my pants on backwards?
No, he hasn't done any quick tricks. Mostly because you're probably like considered a minor right now, and there's like iffy things that you're allowed to do. So he looks at you and he's like, well, first things first, and he wavers his hand for the book to kind of like open without actually touching it. We'll summon our avatars, and his appears, and it's kind of like a songbird, if you will. Small tweety tweet type thing that kind of like flickers around him a bit. And yours?
I'll summon mine. I believe I said it was a hawk.
Okay. So this hawk like appears in your mind. He sends his avatar into the book. Because he's using magic through it, you can physically see this bird like get lost in like the darkness. All right, well, send yours through.
Yeah.
The hawk mimics goes into the book as well. And then you watch as Professor Caspin's eyes like glaze over with darkness as he is now seeing through whatever his avatar is seeing. Oh, right. Yes. This is tricky. Do you do the same as well, Merrick?
Sure.
Okay. You see through your hawk's eyes and instantly are surrounded by the darkness again. And Raven is like standing there looking at you through your avatars.
Yeah.
Back so soon, and you've brought a friend.
Yes. When I closed the book, I appeared many years younger. Your doing?
I do not believe, no.
Do I believe her?
Do a insight check.
I can. Ooh. 30-20.
Nice. From how her mannerisms is, I mean, she's like a shade lady at this point, just shadow covered. She doesn't seem to be giving off any hints or anything that she's like lying. She's kind of like as is truthful. Peculiar.
Very.
This book. I wonder if there's any seals on it.
That's what she says?
No. That's what Caspin's like saying through his tweety tweet.
Are we speaking like bird speak and she can't understand what we're saying?
No, you're literally speaking through your avatar as your voice. And surprisingly, as like your actual Merrick voice.
Oh.
Right, well, don't wish to keep you, my dear. I am going to leave. How do we leave this place, Merrick?
Close the book.
The book. Oh, right. And he like, you see as he comes out of his avatar. And he goes over to the book and like waves it closed, and you find yourself ushered back into your actual presence. Your avatar is kind of like vanishing into the darkness on the other side.
Am I a toddler?
Yes, you still are in your younger self.
I mean,
form.
like, did I get younger?
Oh no! no.
Am I a
Even
toddler now?
You're just like. Oh no!
I'll get the snap camera filter. I'll do it.
Don't do it. Right. Interesting.
Did he get younger?
He did not. So, you touched this book with your hands.
That's how you open a book, yes.
Can I see your hands, please?
I show my hands.
Make a wisdom save.
Fuck. You know, I knew you were gonna say that. That's my
How?
word.
I don't even have your character sheet up right now.
Oh God. That's a 3.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Technically, it was a 4.
Oh god. A -1 to win. Oh dear. You watch as this like dark arcane energy symbol appears over like both of your hands, kind of like small glyphs hovering. Well, that's not any good at all. Do me a favor, hold on to this book, and do not let anyone touch it.
And then
Then hopefully I can figure out a way for it to be reversed.
So you're saying I have to walk around like this?
Yes, well, for the time being, hopefully it will not be long.
All right. Okay.
Hey, Professor, who's the new student?
It's really
And how old do I look?
You're around 16-ish age.
Wonderful.
Professor Caspin like goes over to his desk and like opens one of the drawers and is like, yes, also take this. And he kind of like hands it to you. He hands you over a bag of holding. Put the book in there. Don't let anyone touch it.
Then
Enjoy the rest of your day.
I just stare at him. Why am I so hungry? And then I'll walk out.
Okay. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Well, we're still in the library, right?
Yeah, you're all still in the library.
So I'd wanted to talk to Howlin, and so Natari goes up to Howlin and telepathically asks, I've been wondering about my heritage. I don't know much about myself. My druid family found me, and I don't really know like who I am. I just know that I've had this ability all my life, and when I dream, when I sleep, I don't really dream. I just see visions of like this spirit person that has been like with me my whole life.
And he looks at you for a bit. Interesting, young child. You are very, very interesting. Let's see. Have you ever tried to communicate with this other presence?
Not really. It has communicated with me like through dream visions and whatnot, but mostly I just see like its memories and things of that nature. But occasionally it will like, when something important is coming up, it'll kind of guide me in a direction, and that's usually not faltered. It's helped me. So I'm really just not sure.
Fair enough. Well, there are books on different subjects in relation to most doubtably you specific. However, I would tread carefully in those areas, because some of it could provoke dark magic. However, in the manner of spirits and beings of that sort, perhaps at least understanding a little bit more about it might be helpful. I mean, if that's something that you would like.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been wanting to know more about myself for as long as I can remember.
And he kind of nods, and you see him like shuffling through, kind of like while you're talking to him in his mind. He doesn't seem to be fazed by it, but he's also like shuffling through a bunch of different scrolls and papers that are on the desk that have like different books and things of this main like library area. Tell you what, my sister, she doesn't usually talk to people. However, if you come here tonight, she might be able to help you.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Yes. Also, her name is Nyla Wall, but tell her I sent you.
Okay. Thank you.
And he kind of nods and like goes back to like sort of organizing the papers and sort of like fumbling through some others and moving books to and fro from side to side.
She'll kind of walk off and try to find like a somewhat druid section and just see if there's something interesting that she can pick up to read.
Okay. Kiaran and Luth and Levrin?
Yarns, she's still looking around for books that she might could find that would help her.
Roll me a
Maybe
D8.
Okay. Six.
Okay. Luth, you're at this like large study table within the library, and you watch as Kiaran comes with like her sixth large book on a particular subject related to this and sets it down. The whole table kind of like slightly shakes from the weight of it as she goes back to like look for more books.
What are these books written in?
What are they written?
What language?
Yeah, like what language?
So there's a particular enchantment insignias that have like different symbols and arcane symbols etched in like these study booths more or less, and you find whenever you're reading or studying in these areas, no matter what the native language of these books are, it like arcanely shifts to look like a language that you can read or comprehend.
Luth picks up one of the books, one of like the old dustier books, and just kind of pulls these little glasses out, and then when he puts them on, his eyes kind of flash and he can read it without needing the study booth.
Smart.
I like your glasses. I brought these books for you.
Well, no, Luth, because I can read any language. It's one of the warlock things. So I was like, oh, read any language in a school? That's going to be useful. But he just, yeah, so I'll just start flipping through. My golly, there's a lot of stuff. I would, do we need all these books?
I don't know if you need them all. I'm just trying to find everything that I can to help you. I think that would be, you know, I see you keep getting these headaches, and you know, it's no fun to have headaches. I used to get them a lot when I was younger. Some stuff happened, and man, it took a while for me to get over them, but I felt like if I embraced some things, I don't get the headaches anymore. It's pretty cool.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if this one's going to help. It seems to be talking about, well, if my eyes aren't deceiving me, it says moving a heart. It's something about transmuting frogs. Not entirely sure if that's going to help with the psychic damage, the brain hurting, but I guess we'll keep reading what we find.
I don't know much about that. I'm gonna go look for some more books. Have you seen Merrick?
No, I saw him kind of wandering around further in the back, but that's the last I seen him.
I wonder if he might have some ideas. I asked Howland, and yeah, he didn't seem like he. Well, maybe he's got some more information, but I thought Merrick might know too, because he's probably been around in the library. There's probably some pretty secluded areas. He might be hiding in one of those. I should go look.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I'll start with these, and then I'll let you know if I find anything of interest with the fortifying the old noggin.
All right.
He once again just starts reading. He's just like, why the hell is there so many pages about frogs?
Luth, make a perception check.
Perception check. I'm going to try you again. And so help me, I will throw you across the room again.
Dice abuse.
It's about to be dice abuse. You said perception?
Yeah.
That'll be a 14.
Okay. As Kiaran walks off, you notice one of the books that she brought you earlier is titled Potion Making for Knotheads.
There's a potions for dummies book is what I'm hearing right now. Okay. Write that down. You just want to say potion for commoners? Would that be like the same amount of slight?
Rude.
But
like,
potions for dummies doesn't.
Like the commons. So like
in this school, you mean to tell me there wouldn't be somebody who would put that?
The knotheads would be like the dum-dums.
So you're saying it's worse. So you're wanting to be more insulting.
Yeah, knotheads probably more insulting. Like dummies is insulting enough. But that's like having like such and such book for people, and you're just like, well, I'm a people. Commoners seems like everybody.
Okay, potions for dummies, got it. Because it's going to get confusing, because we already have a guy who we call Knothead.
I know,
now we have
that's
a book,
why
Knothead. Is it
Kiaran
from the
called
Knotheads?
him a knothead.
I feel like he's gonna take that book and then go hand it to Alexander later.
Oh god.
Dude. Hey, so which one of your relatives wrote this? You're Knothead, right?
I cannot.
Anyway, so I put down the books, like, weird frog book. See what we have in here. And he begins flipping through it.
As you're flipping through it, it's not long before you come across a potion of psychic resistance and like the details of how to make it.
Bango, bango. All right, let's see what we need here. He just starts looking at the ingredient list. I have no idea. Wait. I mean, I guess I can pick them up here, right? Yeah. He's just talking to himself, just mumbling, like, all right, I'll just write this. He, like, takes that little piece of scratch paper and starts, like, writing down the ingredients.
Okay. And
after he almost goes to tear the page out.
In the library?
Yes. I'm looking for books on just general spell knowledge.
Okay.
For like wizards, sorcerers, and warlocks.
Okay. Roll a d20, just regular d20 roll.
Nat 20.
Nice. You come across an area that has like kind of like arcane symbols of chains kind of like etched around them. And there's like a small scry symbol message that says restricted area.
I wanna try and you said the chain's like in front.
Yeah, they're just like arcane chains. They're not necessarily blocking the area in general. They're just like decorative at this point.
I want to stealth and sneak the books.
Roll a stealth check.
25.
Okay. You sneak up and kind of like ease your way into this area. The veil kind of like goes over your body. It doesn't push you back or anything. And now you're in this restricted area, more or less, surrounded by like all these books that you can almost imagine would be restricted.
I want to take some.
Okay.
I want to take like 5. Mostly warlock and wizard spells.
Do
like
a
primarily
sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. It's gonna be a 15.
Okay. 2 seconds. I want to make
Set off the school alarm.
essentially.
Oh no.
Just a 3-headed dog comes running down a corridor at you. Or what's the... Was it the blink dog? Something like that? Just like an astro dog that just pops in, just boop. Hi, you're in the wrong section.
So as you go to grab like your first book, you feel this like hand clasp like your wrist, and you turn around and there's this large dark black tabaxi standing there. I believe this is the restricted section.
Oh, it is. I didn't know that, sir. I'm terribly sorry.
Professor Lone. And you are?
Reverend Ryder, sir, in House Coolidge.
Coolidge. It's always a Coolidge. There's a particular reason this area is restricted, Mr. Ryder. Do you know why?
No, Professor Lone.
Tell me, are you new to the school?
Yes, sir. This is my first day, or yes, this is my second day, sir.
Right. Well, allow me to catch you up. The books here are restricted for a reason, because they hold very powerful magic. Magic that a first year, such as yourself, may be dangerous to learn about just yet.
But what if I said I could handle it, Professor Lone? I only need one book.
Many say that they can handle things. Turns out that they actually cannot. Tell me, what is the most powerful spell that you can cast currently?
I would have to say Thunder Wave, sir.
And he kind of like chuckles slightly under his breath. Thunderwave, you say? Thunderwave is a first level spell that can be cast at higher levels. However, it is not necessarily a very powerful spell on its own. You're just fusing it with higher arcane energy and making it more potent, if you will. There's books in here that can cause banishment. Do you know what that does, Mr. Ryder?
No, Professor.
It sends you to a different plane of existence. Sometimes those planes aren't so nice. Food for thought. Each of these books are protected by spells such as that. You go around grabbing the wrong one, not knowing what counterspell is going to come at you, you may end up worse for wear.
Yes, Professor. And I want to try and sneak away.
Okay. Roll another stealth check.
Nat 20, 29.
Okay. As you are walking away, you hear from the restricted area, "I shall be seeing you, Mr. Ryder." And you look back, and he's not there.
I'm gonna look for some of the other people like Luth and Kiaran.
Okay. You bump into kind of like an intersection between book columns and book aisles. You kind of intersect Natari and Kiaran at the same time. Kiaran's fetching more books. Natari is just trying to take the small druid book that she found and find an area where she can read it in peace. And you all kind of interject into the same area at once. Roll a I guess dexterity save or acrobatics check, whichever is higher.
Who's this?
This would be Kiaran, Levrin, and Natari.
Nat
19.
20.
Dice are hot on things that we don't need the dice to be that hot on.
Right?
10.
Sweet. So, Kiara, not looking, kind of almost interjects into all of you, and again, Levrin, you're able to steady everyone. Natari, almost insanely aware of her surroundings, is just she stops a couple of feet before you all kind of collide into each other, and the three of you are just standing in this intersection of books and other rows of.
Oh,
Atari, when she sees Levrin, would kind of blush a little bit, smile under her breath, and kind of shyly look down and stuff.
oh, Natari. And hey there, Kiaran. How goes the
Hi.
exploration of the library?
I found some books for Luth.
That's good.
I found this little druid book. Hi, Levrin.
Hi, Natari. Also, have
Oh,
you seen?
oh, hi-
have you
hi,
seen
Kiara.
Merrick? Have you seen
Um,
Merrick?
No, I haven't. Since we got here,
I feel like he's
I-
hiding.
I got kind of distracted.
Well, I think I've explored about half the library. Because man, there's a lot of cool books, and I'm gonna I think I can't wait until I think by the end of this week I'm gonna know every section of this library.
Quite a
That's-
bookworm you are,
yeah.
Kiaran.
What did you explore, Levrin?
I'm gonna keep that to myself, seeing as there seems to be a lot of potential in that section.
Wait,
It's just getting in there and getting the books that I'm having a little trouble with.
what? Well, are these like really powerful books?
Yes, lots of powerful magic.
I'm very interested in that.
Levering kind of leans down next to Kiaran and kind of whispers the section that it's in. I'd be careful though. They seem to be watching that area quite well.
Okay, well maybe. Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna go and try and find Luth. Have a great day, Natari, Kiaran.
I can tell you where he's at. He's at this table back in this certain area. It's way over, it's along that outer wall over here, and he's looking at some books that I brought him. I brought him a bunch of books, 6 of them, and they were pretty big. And there's one that has some potions, and there's one that has a lot of stuff about frogs. And well, anyway, I'm hoping that they can help him with his headaches. That's where he's at.
Yes, thank you, Kiaran. And Leverin's standing there, like, trying to be polite as she's just rambling about these books. I'll go find Luth now. Have a great day. And Leverin walks away to find Luth and see how he's doing.
Well, what are you said you found a book about nature, Natari?
Oh,
About
yeah, she
druids?
kind of like snaps out of it and like turns her gaze from Leverin to Kiaran. Yeah, it's just this little like druid book that I was gonna try to see if I could learn anything else from.
Ooh, does it have a like? What does it have in it about druids? Does it have like higher level spells, or does it have stuff about different types of druids, or?
I don't know yet. I haven't read it yet.
You haven't read it? Can I look at it?
Okay.
Well, no, that's okay. It's your book. I have my own books. I mean, well, all the books in the library are kind of what I consider my own books because I'm gonna probably read them all by the end of my second year here.
That's ambitious, but I hope you definitely can make it through them. As she's looking around at the vast amount of books in this library.
I'm kind of a speed reader. I'm gonna ask Howlin if I can like take a bunch of them to my room every night and like read through them.
Oh, that sounds exhausting.
It's fun to learn. I think the more you learn, the better. Well, the better you are at doing the things that you can do with your magic.
Sure. Well,
You see, what do you keep looking at? You don't seem interested in our conversation.
Nothing. I just I'm just kind of distracted, I guess. I don't know.
Oh.
Roll a insight check, Kiaran.
Yeah. Kiaran's too easy talking about books. She rolled a 9.
You don't.
It's right there next to an 18.
Kind of like fading in her cheeks.
Yeah, the 5 is right next to the 18, and it still was a 5, so 9. Yeah. Okay. Well, I wonder where. Well, maybe we should go. You know what? Maybe we should go find Levern and Luth too. I can take you there. I know where they're at, and then we can go find Merrick. Maybe we should all go look for Merrick. And
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go sit down here, and if you find them, just come grab me on the way out. I'm gonna sit down and read for a minute.
Okay. I'm gonna go find. As to DM, I'm gonna go find Howlin and ask Howlin if there's any books. I'm gonna go find Howlin.
Okay. Let's see. Before
And Natari goes and sits down and just like reads, kind of glancing up at Levern every so often.
I imagine you went to a different section that you left Kieran. Like, yeah, I'm going over here.
And then going over there.
Merrick, roll a perception check.
$13.
Okay. Up ahead from where you are, you see a very familiar, tall elf, like scoffing down at one of the students, who seems to be like a shorter halfling male. You would recognize probably Alexander, definitely. And the
Alexander's a halfling?
Alexander's the high elf that's scoffing down at the halfling.
Got it. So it's one student scoffing at another student.
Yeah.
Got it.
And the halfling's kind of like shuffling some papers and scrolls and like trying to like put them back into his pack, and also picking up some of his books.
Now, did what's his nuts walk away? Or is he
No,
still
he's
there?
like standing there, looking down at him like, why does no one look where they're going around here? And he's like, I'm sorry.
Don't waste a spell slot. I'm going to I'm gonna cast Disguise Self on myself.
Okay.
Make me look like myself.
Okay.
Why don't you look where you're going?
He like looks over to you. Mr. Merrick, sir.
I'm talking to the high elf, not to the little guy.
Yeah, this whenever adults are around, Alexander's buff, like high elfy oof kind of like disappears, and he turns into like this meek student because he doesn't want to get in trouble. I'm sorry, sir. Yes.
Usually when people bump into each other, regardless of who did it, they both assist with picking up the things on the ground.
And he watches his eyes kind of like look horridly down at like the big mess that's made. You want me to assist with that?
Yes. As Merrick also goes down and helps gather the papers and things for the kid.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
Why? That's a 9.
Okay, so the kid notices, as you're like grabbing some of the papers, they're kind of not matching up with your hands quite as well because of the sky self that's enchanted over you. But he's not saying anything because he's also like trying to frantically like get all this stuff together. And after a bit, Alexander also like, grabs a scroll here and he's just like, and eventually you get it all together. And the kid looks up at both of you. Thank you very much.
Make sure you're looking where you're going next time.
Yes. yes, I will. And Alexander like scoffs and just like saunters off.
I will continue walking, and now that I will look like me for at least a little bit, I'm gonna go to the least precarious spot with the least amount of traffic where I would probably normally kind of hang out and try not to look tiny.
Back at where are you? Back at the library. You all are eventually in the same area, that study area, where Kiaran comes and like puts another book down, and Natari, you see that Luth and Leverin are kind of like talking to each other. Luth, you have a very extensive list for how to make this psychic resistant potion.
There's a lot of, on the list I wrote, there's like a few misspellings here and there that are like scratched out and then written properly next to it. And then there's like a couple question marks next to some of the names where it's just like an ingredient that I have no idea what the hell it is. So it's like, you know, like Nern root. It's just like, what the fuck? What is Nern root? And then just continue, like, and it's just like written all down. It's like, all right, well, we gotta have like a, I don't know, what do you, like a lab or like a classroom. They gotta have some of this stuff around here, right?
Well, yes, Luth, this is a school. I'm sure there's laboratories or classes where you'll even learn to make potions.
All right. Well, I mean, as long as they got some of the stuff, but like I said, I don't know. Half of this stuff just kind of sounds like, you know, something that somebody just made up. But then again, I guess that's what all magic is just some stuff that's made up.
Can I see the list, Luth?
Yeah, sure. I handed over the list. It's, like I said, there's like 16 ingredients. Like the amount is like kind of written on the side.
Can I make a check to see if I know what some of these are? To see if I can help Luth?
Yeah, make a Arcana check.
Okie dokie. It's gonna be a 7.
Okay. Some of the words, like, you're able to help out on like some of the words that Luth doesn't know, but essentially it's a lot of like advanced alchemy stuff, mumbo jumbo.
And I would hear all this going on.
Yes.
Okay. I'll kind of step over there, tuck the book under my arm, and like, maybe I can help too. Can I take a look? And I'll see if I can recognize anything like from my nature side.
Okay. Roll a we'll do medicine check because it's probably wisdom.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't, but that's a 14 plus 8, so 22.
Okay. Yeah, you watch as like Natari just kind of like goes off the list and kind of writes another derivative of what the word means that might seem more common to the everyday person. Like the doctor version of a prescription and like what we call it. Like, ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Headache medicine. Got it. So she just goes down and she starts like writing next to each one that kind of has like scribble marks and question marks next to it to clarify, oh, it's probably this or this or this. And essentially just fills out the list.
Okay. Well, I'll be. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, glad to help.
Luke just kind of smiles and kind of folds it up and then kind of stashes it in his pocket. And like, I guess I don't need these anymore. And then when he takes the glasses off, his eyes kind of revert back to their normal color.
Okay.
And tucks them away.
You watch as like Puckett on the opposite side of the table like looks at Natari. That's pretty cool. Did you study a lot of nature stuff growing up?
I mean, I grew up with druids, so yeah, kind of. It just kind of came naturally to us. So it's just kind of part of growing up is to learn all this stuff. Basically, anything that was out there in the Black Forest, we would kind of get an understanding of what was good, what was bad, what we could use for what, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So how many were with you with the druids? I know y'all kind of traveling like, I don't want to say camps, but like.
Oh, we have our circle. I never really sat down and counted how many, but there's quite a few of us. But we just kind of stayed a little bit to ourselves, you know.
Luth kind of looks around. So what are we supposed to be doing after this?
They said we have to.
When do classes start? I guess.
I imagine tomorrow. Professor Knopf said we had the day for the rest of us, so we could do whatever.
Yeah, but they're like, I might have just misplaced it, but is there like a schedule or like when I'm supposed to go to like a certain place? Because I'm having to I'd rather not be late to the next one.
I don't know. I imagine kind of like with a lot of our stuff, it might just appear in our rooms, and so
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. Because magic. That's yep.
Kiaran, roll
Luth looks down like he's like, "Oh, you idiot! Of course it would just appear. It's magic, you idiot! Why are you asking questions to these people?" That's all Luth. That's all Luth's doing. Just like, oh,
An Arcana check.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm rolling like shit.
With advantage.
8.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Hopefully this is better.
Just Kieran?
Yeah.
Okay.
With advantage, it was a 10.
Nice. Well, it's not a high DC. You would know, just from your magical, background, probably Leverin as well, that your schedules are kind of up to you. So the students can book their day with like a bunch of classes or just a couple of classes, and depending on how they want to learn and study magic, will kind of like determine like what's available for that day.
So Luth, from what I understand is that you can kind of choose your own course of study, and there's a list that's probably in your house wherein all the classes are scheduled for, and the topics of study and who the professor is. And if you want to, I'm at least in my house, in the House of Har, it's right there on the wall in the main common room, and for first years, second years, third years, etc., and it goes on. But if you want to learn, let's say your first class of the day in block 1, and you want to learn about potions, or if you want to learn about cantrips, or if you want to learn about of certain like an evocation cantrip, maybe that you would go to Professor so-and-so, and that's kind of how it's set up. And then of course you have more advanced classes, and there's classes that maybe we can all take together, because I like you guys, and I like having classes and hanging out with you guys, and maybe we could all get together and kind of coordinate our studies. But then of course we're going to have to, I'm a sorcerer, and so I probably don't have the same kind of magic that you have. I don't know what kind of magic you have, but I know that Natari she's a druid, and so she has different kinds of magic than I do. So we'll probably have to still take special classes for our own our own kind of background, but there's probably a bunch of class, like your basics that we all have to take together.
Luke's just nodding along the whole time, just like, confused as hell, but All right,
I don't know if we can go in each other's common rooms, but I bet I could find the list for you, and or maybe if you could just copy the list down and we can bring it all out together. And
Well,
I think the common room is one common room for everyone, and then we split off into our own sections for houses.
Well,
I'll
of course.
take a look.
Yeah.
It's just more of I don't how many in a day, that kind of sort of thing. Because just stuff like that. It was just, I don't know, it was the first time being kind of in a real school, I guess.
I think what Kiaran is saying, you can maybe start slow if you want, and then see what kind of workload you can handle, and up it from there every day if you want. Probably. I think that's a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to start with a small workload too, and only take 6 or 7 classes a day. But I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm only lied like that.
I was just being silly. I'm probably only going to take. Actually, I don't know how many, because I want to leave room for field trips and things like that probably are attached to some of the classes. So I'm probably only going to take 3 or 4 classes a day. And of course, I'll work it out with the professors to do extra work on the side, so I can get learn a little bit of more advanced stuff.
Luth is once again just nodding like, this woman is crazy. This woman is crazy.
Make a perception check.
He begins.
When y'all get to
everybody, or
everyone at that table.
Okay, that was a crappy roll.
16.
Okay. What were you going to say, Luke?
10.
I was gonna begin taking some of the books that were laid out and going to put them back.
Okay.
Perception check, not 20 for a 23.
Levrin, you notice first that one of the students kind of walks past where you all are gathered to study, and then stops and takes a couple of steps back and looks into all of you. Kiaran Talabrina, is that you? And you look over, and there's this older Triton male standing there. You would know him as Saris from the Daranath family, but you would know him personally as Glitch, and he's just a family friend to your father's side.
Glitch! It's been...
Ah, that is you.
Gosh, it's been a while.
Yes, I've been attending the academy. You're in Halsar as well?
Yes. I didn't see you yesterday when I arrived.
Oh no, I've been here for a while. I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were coming today, or in the last round of students.
I had heard that you were here, but I had totally forgotten. It's been several years since I've seen you.
Yeah, it's been a minute since our families have interacted. But are these your friends?
Yeah. So this is Natari, and she's a druid, and she does some other stuff too, I think. Yeah, I know. I was surprised that a druid would be here, because they're more about nature and not arcane, but I think she's really nice, and I like her. I think, anyway, she's really cool. And there's Luth here, and he's really nice. He gets headaches from there's a lot of he signed his name in the book yesterday, but he didn't sign his real name.
I asked, and he said to do it, so I don't feel like it's it was a miscommunication, and he's now just embarrassed as shit and is now beelining out of there with those books. Like just
Luth,
like nope, don't want to be here no more.
No,
He's gone. He's gone.
I wasn't trying to make fun of him. I was just telling you things that happened in the last couple of days, and this is Levrin. I mean, you've probably heard of his family, yes, and he's a really nice kid as well. I'm so much older than them, but I feel like I have so much in common with them. Anyway, but I think we're gonna have a lot of fun this year.
Yes, hopefully. Were you able to get your book scroll?
What? My book scroll?
Yes. Well, the library books here don't necessarily leave the library. You just add them to your book scroll, and you're able to read up on everything that you want, like in your common areas and things of that nature.
That's so handy, because I was gonna ask Howlin if I could take the books to my room at night so that I could read and try to catch up on my reading or maybe even get ahead on my reading, because I like you know me, I like to read and learn. But that's so handy. Do I have to get the book scroll from Howlin, or where do I get that?
Yes, you could just take whichever books you want to him, and he'll add them to your book scroll. And if you don't have one yet, he'll give you one. And yeah.
That's super
nifty. I
nifty.
take it you haven't been to a lot of part of the academy yet?
No. Well, Merrick was giving us a tour, but I haven't seen him in a couple hours. You know Merrick, right? He's one of the guards. I think he's like the head guard,
Mm-hmm. Yes, he usually shows around the new students, at least for a bit, till they get more familiar. Well, I could show you all if you aren't busy.
Oh, that would be swell.
Have you been to the market area? It's very nice there. You can buy a lot of things.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
No, we haven't been there.
Oh, well, you're all welcome to join, as well as your other friend, if you can find him.
Okay, let me just
Yeah.
do the book scroll thing that you talked about. And she'll walk over to Howlin and hand over the book she wants, and
Howlin is, working through all of your books, etching kindly the name and titles on like a particular scroll, and he like hands it off to you after you're done, Natari, with like your book in question. You should find this is adequate enough. Should you want to read any other books, just let me know, and I'll add them to your scroll. As soon as you're done with them, you can either choose to remove them by just crossing it out, or keep them there if you care to read them again.
okay, thank you. And then she'll kind of wait by the door for everyone else.
Hey, Howlin. So I've got these 10 books that can you add these to my book scroll?
He's
And
just
especially this one?
grab
this
one,
one
set
is-
it down, grab it, set it down. Yes.
I know that there's one book I think that's in a restricted area, and I know I'm not quite powerful enough yet, but it's got information about a special kind of spell.
He kind of like stops as you mention the restricted area.
I mean-
you came across the restricted area?
I'm honestly I don't want to say, because I don't want to get him into trouble.
Oh,
I
so
mean that
someone
person
else-
into trouble. Yes.
Well,
But I think there's a book that has a spell in it that I really want to learn, and I know I'm not powerful enough yet, but if I started reading about it now, maybe I could learn. The spell is called Mind Blank, and I know that's super high level, and it's fine if I can't even use it. I would just like to learn more about it, and the type of magic that it uses and that kind of thing.
Well, for all intents and purposes, the Archive of Knowledge doesn't have a restricted area. But for those that are privy enough to be able to come across it, there are arcane books available. However, usually they are of very high power, as you say. Should you happen across the restricted area and you're uncertain of whether or not you should be there, come find myself or my sister, and
Okay.
I'll let you know.
All right. Thank you.
And he like finishes off the list and hands you your book scroll, and it's just like all 10 books neatly written.
Whoa, this is special. I really appreciate this.
Yes.
All right.
Any of your other friends
Does-
have any books?
Levern,
I saw
did you-
the one? He was
I-
running around frantically.
I-
He had a list in his hand.
I made a mistake. I said something about him, and I think I embarrassed him. I'm going to turn towards the direction he ran, and I'm gonna pull out this little piece of copper wire, and I'm gonna say, and I put it up in my mouth, and I'm gonna whisper, Luth, I'm really sorry, and I hope this doesn't freak you out, but I mean, you probably know this spell too, and come back to Howland to check out your books.
I lost track of how many words that was. So Luth is like on his tiptoes, like trying to put one of the like bigger books on the top shelf back. Like, come on, just about Luth. Oh shit! And then he's like, you listen to it. Sure, all right. I mean, I just had the one page, but yeah, I guess I can get the whole book. And then
Puckett like looks at you. Who are you talking to?
I really hope it was Kirianne. I really hope that's who that was in my head.
And he like
Otherwise,
picks up
it's-
the book and gives it to you. Well, she's not here.
Well, she did the was in my head. Oh god, it sounds weirder when I say it. Magic's weird. I'm just. I guess we can check books out, but like not check book. I'm just gonna go check this out, and he just starts walking to the librarian Howlin.
Howland.
Howlin, yes.
So I imagine it's like the potion making for knotheads.
Yeah, the potion making for Knothead. That was the last one he put away because that was like on the bottom of the stack. And it was just like, of course, it's up there on the top shelf. And so yeah, he walks over.
Puckett,
Yeah,
Puckett, come to the front desk of the library.
Puckett
as you're
shortly
saying that,
follows
Puckett's
after
like
Luth.
behind me, so it's just like he sees you talking into it. Like,
Howlin grabs your book, writes it down on a book scroll, and hands it to you, Luth. There you are.
thank you.
I believe
Appreciate
that is
it.
a first. No one's ever checked out potion making for knotheads as their first arcane teaching.
Yeah, something tells me that the title isn't quite something that a lot of people want to have on their checked out roster. But hey, you gotta start somewhere, right?
Yes.
Smiles very unsuringly, anxiety building, and where you have a good one now. And he kind of just once again starts walking. Walk away from anxiety.
So as you all collect your books and get your book scrolls, Saris, or Glitch, starts to direct you to the marketing district. And at this time, we're probably going to take our 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and finish the second half, or second part. I keep saying second half, and it's not 2 more hours of this.
Or is it? Bum, bum,
I mean, we could.
Less. I mean, essentially we could, but then I would be late to like a lot of other things. We'll talk
We got a
about it.
schedule.
We'll figure
Those aren't
it out.
as important.
But yes, see you all shortly. Make sure I click the right one. Be right back and not the ending. That would be a little bit weird. But yes, 10 minutes and we'll be back. Bye-bye.
you.
Sweet, welcome back, everybody. We are picking up with the crew headed to the market district in the Sagemist Academy. You'll notice as you arrive at the market district that it's not quite like what's it called, Diagon Alley, but
Diagon?
Diagon?
Is it Diagon or Diagon?
Diegon's
Alley.
back street. No,
Diagon Alley.
no, it's
Diagon Alley.
Diegon's back street. Diegon's back street. Copyright purposes.
Oh, I don't think J.K. Rowling's gonna be hopping in on my.
You ain't got to worry about her. You got to worry about Warner Brothers.
Oh goodness. Hey bros, how you doing? So you arrive at the market district. It's a bit more open. There's a lot of different markets and other places that are selling things. Where would you like to go? Saris looks back at Kiaran. He seems to like know his way around. He's been here for at least 6 months, but he like looks at you specific and says, "Is there any place in particular you would like to see, or just a general tour?"
Well, I think a general tour, but I'm interested in things that have to do with the mind and, you know, attacking the mind, and shielding the mind, and things like that. But I think, you know, since, you know, all my friends are here too, maybe we should just get a general tour first.
Okay, that sounds fair. And he kind of like walks around, pointing out like potion shops, places where you can like make your own potions. There is herb shops. There's weapon shops, clothing shops, pretty much anything you can think of, but the shop version. All of them work with the school, so they're kind of like contracted in to sell their wares. Most of them have larger places that you, Kiara, and you, Levrin, might be familiar with just from being around Sagemist. This is more like the small podunk version, like airport version of like a Dunkin' Donuts or something of that.
Food truck version.
Yeah, smaller version. But there's also like ways for you to order things that aren't currently being visibly sold in their shops, as long as you are familiar with like their catalog and like, hey, I wanted this outfit, and you're like, oh yeah, we'll have it in next week, blah blah blah, sort of thing. But essentially the grounds are open. There's a lot of people here. Some you might recognize as students by how they're like dressed, and some are just like people that like to go to the Sagemist Academy and get the magical version of things all in one, rather than going to Sagemist itself and having to go like all across town just to get like a small laundry list of things. So, yep. Where would you all like to go?
Natari's, with all the people here, is gonna be definitely like outside of her element and nervous, but she's also gonna be like looking for shops that would interest her.
Okay.
Maybe stuff that might have animals or nature type things, or things that would benefit her, while also being very anxious about the amount of people. Just kind of sunk in and like keeping her head down and stuff.
Okay.
Leverin's gonna go and try and find some like the magical clothing shops.
Okay. Luth?
Luth is going to be kind of just in a very similar way to Natari, just being very like wide-eyed, like what is going on? Like this, typically he's only seen stuff like this when it's like county fair kind of stuff, where it's like this many people, this like people like buy here, 2 for $5, like all that kind of stuff. And so Luth is just like kind of looking around, sees the weapons shop, and is kind of like looking in the mirror, like looking through the window and seeing like, you know, these big swords and all that stuff, which is what he wanted to do before the magic happened. And he's just looking at it like, there's no way I can lift that. And then he sees the potion shop and just walks in.
Okay. You walk in and there are all different types of potions, different vials of them, different shapes to the particular concoction, as well as variety. There's different colors. Some are bubbling, some are stasis, some are shining, some are sparkling.
Is there a name to this shop by
lot of
chance?
potions. This one is Clear Potion Designs. I'm gonna write that down.
I kind of begin kind of just like wandering around the store, kind of like just looking at different vials and stuff, and then seeing whoever is like kind of running the place.
You look around for a second, and the shop seems to not have anyone like perusing or behind a desk or anything like that.
Excuse me. Is anybody in here?
And as you say that, shortly after, there's this like loud horn that kind of like appears next to you. Are you buying something?
Jesus! Or D&D Lord. Maybe. Was I wondering if I could, he's just kind of looking at the horn, very confused. Wondering if I could get some help trying to find something specific, or at least the ingredients.
Sure, what you got?
I got this, and he kind of unfolds the paper, and he kind of holds it up to the horn, and then realizing the horn doesn't have eyes, and is like, you want me to just read it off to you, or?
No, you can just hold it.
All right, he just kind of
And it
holds
just
it
like
up,
hovers and looks at it. Yes, we have all that. Would you just like the potion version?
Well, yeah, but can I get both?
Well, here we sell the potions. If you want to buy the stuff, you can go across and get it there.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I'll take the potion version. That'll save me some time.
Oh, okay. Well, here you go.
Oh, what's the damage? Kind of starts like siphoning through his coin pocket.
Damage?
How much? How much is it? Sorry.
Oh, well, that depends. Are you a student?
Yeah.
You get a student discount.
Oh, well, that's awesome. All right, so how much after the discount?
50 gold.
Hey, that's after the discount. Okay.
Yes. If you weren't a student, it would be 100.
Luke's eyes go wide as he looks at the vial, which I imagine isn't big at all. It's like,
No, it's like one serving.
and as he's counting it out, he's like, me and my mom could live off of 100 gold for a year.
And these
Where
cats
the
are just,
hell
like,
am I?
splurging.
And he's like, he counts out, the 50, and like, where exactly do I put it?
I just
Money.
drop it in the horn.
He's like, very, like,
Ting, ting,
Yeah.
ting, 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 ting.
just like the coin counter thing, or like those, God, what are they? You drop the coin and it like spins round those like science fair kind of shit.
And it comes back up. Thank you, Luth. Have a nice day.
Thank you, magical horn of the store. And then just once again, it's so confused, and kind of just steps out, and then kind of just begins wandering down the street some more,
Okay.
being very now protective. He's like, that was 50 gold.
Merrick, make a perception check.
$17.
Okay. You notice that your disguised self is just about hitting its hour, and your illusion's kind of like fading away, as your younger self is kind of visible. You're still like hidden away to where no one can see you, but
Sure. I mean, after some time, I'd probably go back to dude's office and see if he figured it out yet.
you go back, knock at the door. The door like swings open just enough for Professor Caspin to like stick his head out. He looks left and right, then looks down at you. Okay, come in. Hurry. He ushers you inside. I have made a discovery. First, you, drop of blood. There's a needle over there somewhere. It's sterilized, don't worry. Just a prick.
Okay, I'll do that.
And there's like a vial where you like prick your finger and like drop a droplet of blood into it. And okay, well, turns out what you came across is very, very dark magic. And I know this is such because those arcane symbols that were hovering over your fingernongs are very, very bad in my book, at least from what I could study in this short time. Basically, I am going to hopefully reverse the process. And are you ready?
Yes.
He takes the vial of blood and carefully like sets it next to a bunch of other like arcane things that are magically moving in his desk area. And he like taps one of the knobs a bit, and it all just kind of like actuates and animates, and eventually it like poof, and like big plume of dark energy like comes radiating out where your blood was in that vial. And all of it looks pretty interesting, like ooh, magic, but at the same time it's like ooh, magic. And when the cloud like dissipates, he looks over at you and he's like, how do you feel? And as you look down at yourself, you're back in your normal appearance, everything kind of like fitting like it's supposed to, and you don't feel like wobbly or weird or anything like that.
Okay. So am I back to normal then?
Yes.
Okay.
Damn.
So what caused this change?
Well, if you would notice from the book that's in your bag that you're not supposed to be touching and you're not supposed to be letting other people touch. There's probably some type of scripture or arcane symbol hidden on page 76. I don't know. Basically, there was a curse attached to whoever opened that book. And you're lucky that you're still alive. However, there's a particular benefit to it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's a benefit. From what I can tell from that arcane symbol, you can now freely change back and forth between yourself and that other version of yourself, if you would even call it that. But you can only do it once a day, so, keep that in mind.
Interesting.
And from what I can tell, the only one that knows that you are you and that other thing is me and you.
And what of the woman by the name of Raven that's inside of the book?
She seems like a crazy bitch. I would not go talk to her on front.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. And what should I do with this book?
Hold on to it. Leave it in the pouch, if you will. I'm not sure what would happen if somebody else came across it right now, and it seems to be safest in your person, considering you're already affected by it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you.
Yes, I have much things to do, unless you have something else, Merrick.
No, that's it.
And he, waves in the door to his office, opens up. Have a nice day. I will catch you later.
Yes. And then I'll walk in.
Make another perception check.
17.
Awesome. As soon as you walk out of the Professor Caspin's office, you'll be aware that his office is on one of the top floors or the higher floors of Sagemist Academy, as well as Sagemist City if you were to ever exit out. As you walk out, you run into Headmistress Faerun as she's kind of walking down the hall, and she looks over, sees you coming out of Professor Caspin's office. Oh, good morning, Merrick.
Morning.
Visiting Professor Caspin?
Yes.
Well, I have business with you, actually. I was going to come see you later today, but since you're here now, it's most beneficial. Would you like to come to my office?
Sure, why not?
And she leads you to her headmistress office. It's very large, very elaborate, very headmistressy. There's a lot of different books and arcane lore and things around that, give off the essence of power and, importance. But she goes around, swings to the front of her desk. Her robes kind of usher themselves around and settle next to her. She sits down softly and looks over to you and clasps her hands together and looks you dead in the eyes. I need you to do me a favor.
Sure.
It would seem, and she kind of motions slightly with her fingers as she's talking to you, and minor illusions, images start to appear behind her as she's talking. There are some students that I would like you to keep an eye on, particularly. And the first image is that of Kiaran, and she looks at you and she's like, this is Miss Talabrina. You might know of her. She is from the Talabrina family, as you might know, and her father has said to keep a eye on her, if you will. I am not sure what that means. I did not care to ask. Next, the image changes.
And this is Faerun, right?
Yeah, Lady Faerun or Headmistress Faerun, however you want to call her.
Got it. All right.
Anastasia. It changes to Natari. This is Natari. She is one of the only druid students that we have here, and her scholarship has been paid by the academy. So she doesn't necessarily belong here by student standards. However, she is one of the students, and she will be treated as such. Mostly important about her is that there's something special about her, at least from what the druids were able to tell me. I am not certain what that is. I did not care to ask. However, we did decide that she would be one of the first druid students that we would allow at the academy, and hopefully, if her studies go well, we may be able to offer that position to other druid applicants in the future. Next is this one, and she's actually like unclasps her hands and like twirls it a bit, and it changes over to Luth. This is Luth. He's new to magic, but his patron, Magistrate Falarin, has shown a particular interest in him. In his hometown, he might have gotten into a bit of trouble. I do not know if that's going to carry over. I did not care to ask. However, if he does prove to be a problem, please let me know at the earliest, at your earliest convenience. And finally, and she changes it to Levrin and looks at you. This student needs to be watched. I don't care how you do it. Watch him. That is all.
All right.
Atari will watch it.
Can you feel
Now, if you could do me the other favor of particularly training them, not so much in magic, but to see how well they do when faced with magic. There will be various opportunities where you can do field research. Just don't let them know that it's anything out of the ordinary. It should be natural to them. And since they're all they've only been here for not even 2 days, it should be pretty easy to convince them.
All right. Sure.
Other than that, don't have anything else to say. Just keep me up to date on their progress, and we'll go from there.
Wonderful. I live.
Do have a good day, Merrick.
Yes. You too.
And he makes his way out. Kiaran, as you're walking down the streets with Saris, you see that he kind of has like a, laid back but still very noble, dignitary type approach to his mannerisms. And he has his like arms crossed behind his back carefully, and he's like looking, making sure he like stays close to you in particular as he like looks over to you. Kiaran, I was wondering, so you'll notice after you attend the academy for an extended period of time that it'll behoove you to teach the new students, get them more familiar, kind of as I'm doing currently. This can be very beneficial as far as like our house goes, and I think the professors also enjoy it because it kind of keeps the new kids out of trouble.
I think that's a good idea. I really like doing things like that. I've been meaning to ask you, when we were growing up, everybody called you Twitch, and I called you Twitch, and
Oh, sorry, Glitch. Sorry.
I mean Glitch. I meant Glitch. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. No, seriously.
Everyone called him Glitch, and you called him Twitch.
Yes. I'm sitting yeah. Anyway, when I called you Glitch growing up, and I was wondering do you still go by Glitch at the academy, or do you go by Saris, or what do you prefer now? I don't want to call you anything that maybe you don't want to go by now.
Most of my classmates call me Saris, but I still answer to Glitch. I mean, my parents still call me that for all intents and purposes, and I wouldn't mind if you called me that, Kiaran.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's what I know you by, and I mean, we go back a long way. So, but yeah, I certainly want to do whatever I need to do to help our house. And if that, of course, I could probably do some of that now. I can get another book from the library and study up on the different buildings on campus, and maybe of course I already know a lot about Sagemist and the surrounding area, and I could talk about that to them, and
well, don't
maybe even
overtax yourself there, Kiaran. Just whenever you have free time, or if you see someone that might be in need, might be the best time to do it.
I like doing that. I like helping others.
Yes, I'm sure
I
it'll
can
come
do that
very naturally.
And of course, if you have any pointers about classes that I'm taking and how what certain professors are like, and maybe if I should work extra hard in their classes, or if I should maybe try to be super helpful to those professors, or just things like that.
And he kind of like comes to a stop with his pacing, and like mulls it over for a second, and like looks over at you, and he's like, well, yeah, I'm sure all those things are allowed. It really depends on what you want to do, Kiaran. Being that you're at the academy, your studies are more or less focused by you. So if you want to learn more, then I'm sure the professors will gravitate towards that, especially after they find a student that actually wants to learn. I'm sure more opportunities are just going to appear naturally as you will.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. And I just wanted to say it was great seeing you again, and I'm glad we ran into each other, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you around the house and then around campus.
Yes, well, if you ever need me, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
Do you think your other friends will be fine?
I'm not worried about Leverin at all. He seems to fit right in. I'm worried about Luth because he seems to be very nervous, and he doesn't understand magic very well yet. And I'm also worried about Natari. She's very kind, but she's very introverted and nervous around people. And I'm trying to do my best to make them both feel comfortable. And I think it's kind of backfired a couple of times with Luth, because I've said some things and then he got really embarrassed and kind of left really quickly. But I'm working on that. I'm not used to someone like him. I've seen plenty of drows because we traveled a lot growing up. I mean, not drow, but druid. We traveled a lot growing up, so I understand Natari a little bit better, but I don't know anything about Luth. I don't understand his magic, or I don't even know if he understands his magic. It's very unusual.
I mean, that's fair. Not all of us have had kind of the opportunities that we've had, at least you and I, growing up, to learn about magic. And if it's something that's new to him and his family, he might just not have all the answers, at least not now. But it's a good thing that he's here. At least now he'll be in a position to where he can learn things more, and hopefully safely. But I'm sure it'll all come with time.
It's really special that he gets to come to a place like this where, I mean, if he was just out in the world and he got these powers and he doesn't know how he got them, it would be hard for him to learn how to take advantage of them and use them. But I think with the professors and the classes and maybe even us helping him, he can learn how to focus them better. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to watching him learn.
Okay. It's very nice of you to say.
I feel like I've been to the market district before growing up, and I had just forgotten, and it's been a long time, but seeing all the shops and everything, it's bringing back some memories, and I'm really I'm gonna just explore a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, things might look different now. I mean, they usually change the market district throughout the season, so lots of things get kind of tossed about here and there. But if you just want to explore, that's fine. I'll see you later, probably in the common area or in the dorms, wherever.
Sure. Absolutely, I can't wait.
Have a good rest of your day, Kiaran.
Thank you for taking your time to help me out and to help out my friends.
Oh, no problem. Tell them I said hi, or bye.
I will.
And he walks off. Leverin, you make your way to what's considered the market square, and there a lot of people are kind of gathered around it. It's kind of out in the open, and you're watching as there's a ball that is falling from the sky, and you'll see as something will hit it and it'll go back in the air, and then it'll come back down, and it'll fall into a portal, and the portal will open back up at a higher level, and it'll fall. You would know this as a magical kind of competition sort of things that some of the students do to see who would run out of spells first and have the ball kind of hit the ground without consecutively using the same spells in a row and things of that nature. Just a way for some of the arcane students to exercise their magical abilities and kind of show off in the same time, without actually injuring anybody.
Leverin walks in. Is there a name to this game?
We'll call it Arcane Ball for now. Name in question.
Arcane Ball? I haven't seen that played in quite a while. I just speak out loud to myself. Okay.
To your left, kind of shorter than you, a student looks up and he's like, I've never seen this before, actually. It's my first time. It's pretty nice.
Do you understand how it's played?
Kinda get the gist of it, but is there a point system to it or something? Or do they just keep going back and forth?
They basically go back and forth until someone runs out of spells, and whoever runs out first is the loser if they let the ball hit the ground.
Oh, well, that's interesting. You might want to try that someday.
I kind of break down the rules to him and let him know how it's played. After this one's done, if you would like, I can see if I can get you into the next round.
Oh, and he kind of timidly clams up. I don't know if I can do.
Relax,
in front
relax.
Of all the people.
Maybe you can find someone and practice at the school before such a large audience. I apologize for that. I didn't mean to make you so anxious.
Oh, that would be most agreeable. My name's Falcon, by the way. And the halfling extends his hand up towards you.
And Leverin reaches down and his hand basically just engulfs the little halfling's hand. A pleasure to meet you. Do you know any taverns or bars that are looking to hire entertainment?
There was a rowdier place that I passed on my way down here. I bumped into a not nice student, so I kind of got sidetracked. But maybe he like points, like he's pointing at the back of someone's back because he's so short, but he like points in the direction that he had come from.
Very well. Thank you so much, Falcon. Can you give me the name of the student who is being mean?
He said he was from the Knot family. I'm not sure what else he said. I was too busy picking up all of my papers and scrolls and things. And books. Lots of books.
No need, Falcon. I know who this person is. Thank you very much. And
you're
good day.
Welcome. Okay.
And turn around and walk to the direction he was pointing.
Okay.
Snitches get stitches. Man, that kid's gonna end up dead. Put it down now. When the DM kills the halfling.
Not if Snot gets stitches first.
By dungeon master magic, you all variously find your ways like gravitating towards the same kind of like area. And Levern, you arrive at this taverny place first.
What's it called?
It is called the Laughing District. I am totally not making these names up on the fly.
Just a heads up, like during this time, Natalia would have gotten so anxious that she would have wild shaped into a bird and like been flying around instead of intermingling with people.
Okay.
How about we call it the Rowdy Coffin?
Rowdy Coffin? What is that from?
I don't know. I just made it up. It's better than the Laughing District.
Well, you're in the Laughing
you
District.
You don't know. Yeah.
Rowdy Coffin. Are we going to make this meta? Fine, we'll make it the Rowdy Coffin.
In the Laughing District. So I walk into the tavern, and I want to do an investigation and try and find the proprietor of the establishment.
Okay, roll 1 for me.
All right. 9.
You do have a luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll that for sure.
As I immediately make him go into combat right after. No, I'm joking.
13.
Okay, yeah, it takes you some time. There's a lot of people going back and forth. Unlike the food court area where people are like mostly centered there to get meals, some people are here for like the entertainment, some people are here for the drinks, and some are just here just to be here. So after a while, you're able to come across a young tabaxi woman that's handing out drinks to the patrons, and she goes behind the bar and is kind of like cleaning some of the dishes as you walk up, make your way up.
I walk up to the bar. Excuse me, madam.
Yes?
I was wondering if I might have a moment of your time.
If it's only a moment.
My name's Levin Ryder, and I stick out my hand. I was wondering if you were hiring any entertainment.
She gets up, sets the dish that she was washing down, grabs one of the towels and mats it over her hands before she takes yours and like shakes it. You're looking for work, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what are your talents?
I am very good with sword performances and magic.
Oh, really? When would you like to start if you do get the job?
Preferably as soon as possible. At very latest, the beginning of next week.
Okay, well, There's a lot of people asking for work, especially with the new drive of students that are here as of late, so I can see what I can come up with. Tell you what, roll a, I guess, straight charisma roll.
Straight charisma?
Yeah, charisma,
Okay.
or a roll plus your charisma modifier.
Alrighty. Uh, 17.
Okay. She reaches into one of her like side pouches and hands you a card that kind of like glimmers as it comes towards your direction. It smells faintly of like lavender and other fairly nice scents. But when you look at the card, it doesn't seem to have anything on it.
What is this? I've never seen one of these before.
Yes, it's an arcane calling card. If you get the job, you'll know.
I see. Well, thank you very much, madam. May I get your name?
It's Nefertiti.
It was a pleasure and an honor meeting you. And then go to shake her hand again and ask her if I can get a drink.
She lets you shake her hand again, and as you ask for the drink, her hand comes from behind her, and a drink kind of like is placed in front of you.
And I just sit at the bar, turned around, facing away from the bar, and kind of watching the room.
Okay. What
And
are
that's
the
all I'm
rest
doing right now.
of you, Kiara and Luth, doing?
Did we see this? Did we follow him into the rowdy coffin?
You would have saw him about the time as he's like pocketing the card and he just got his drink back, and then he turns around around the time that y'all are walking into the rowdy coffin.
If Natari sees any of them walking in, she would have flown in and like perched up in the rafters somewhere. Just watch.
Luth can't. I don't think Luth can go in.
Yeah, as you
Luth
are
like
trying...
stand there and looks. He's like, I don't think I'm really supposed to go in there.
One of the big
Well,
guys, kind of
Luth.
like the guards of the joint, looks at you and he's like, "It's milk and water for you, kid. Just so you know."
He's with me.
All
Still
right.
milk
I
and water.
don't know why you're serving milk. That sounds weird, but all right, I guess.
Well,
He's
don't tell that to
He's
the
just like,
barmaid.
why can't I tell that to the Oh, as he walks in, he's like, I feel like that. I look over, curious. Was that appropriate? Was that racist?
I don't
I don't
don't
know if
think
that's
so.
just
I
because
think-
she actually likes it, or if it's because she's a tobacco. You know what? I'm just gonna. He just kind of walks in and just sits down. It's like, this is what a tavern is.
Yeah, would
As
you-
y'all are
Would you like?
getting
Go ahead.
more acquainted, roll a perception check for me. A delayed perception check.
All of us?
Yes.
Well. 22.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 6.
Everybody except Leverin.
He's over there like he's hot shit. Like,
yeah,
man, I got
like
a
the way
job.
you're positioned, this person's like further down the line of people sitting. You all, Kiara and mid-sentence, you notice a certain Alexander Knott sitting at the end of the bar, drinking what appears to be like wine or something equivalent.
Well, Luth, don't look now, but knotheads here. No, no, no.
Deliberately looks. I mean, yeah,
Ah.
it's kind of. So what?
Yeah, so
Like Luth is fully he's like, yeah, he's an asshole, but like, what's the problem?
All right,
I mean,
all right.
he's here, but I mean, are we not? So, are we
no,
not supposed
no,
to be
it's
here?
fine. I was just pointing him out.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna get Leverin's attention. Leverin, come join us.
Can I do another perception check to see if I see not?
As you're going over towards him, you're able to see around the side of the people that were kind of like blocking your vision.
Okay.
That he's down there. He's like, and doing.
Insert witty banter here.
Leverin's walking by Kiaran and just says, "I'll be right back," and walks over to Alexander Knott, and I come up from behind
before
him.
He does anything? I don't even have anything to stop him. Never mind.
No, hold it.
I was actually going to do something before he did that, but I'll let this happen.
I put my hand on his shoulder, and I cast Bestow Curse.
And he's like sitting there, and he's like, and my family took me to Scion this one time. And as that happens, your hand comes down, and you activate your Bestow Curse. Is there a save for that?
It's Wisdom 15.
Okay.
I'm going to distract him when that happens by not Leverin. I'm going to distract Knothead by using, because I can cast Mage Hand invisibly and without any verbal or somatic components. I can do it with just my mind, and I'm going to cause it to spill as he's gesticulating with his wine glass, doing that nonsense. I'm going to cause the wine glass to tip and just dump all in his lap.
Okay.
And my mage hand is invisible as well, just so he can't see what happened.
The wisdom save at disadvantage for distraction is an unnatural 19. The first one was an unnatural 20. And the acrobatics check to see if he doesn't miss his or spill his drink is an 8. So his wine definitely does spill. But he looks at you and he kind of like ushers your hand off. Levrin.
Hello, Knothead. How are you doing today? And internally, Leverin's kind of confused as to why the curse didn't work, but he's like playing it off externally with a smirk.
Okay. And it's a wisdom save, like, to see if it affects him or not, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure I did that right. He, like, looks at you. Usually during my free time, I like to, surround myself with people of importance.
Well, I'm surprised the people of importance would let trash hang around.
Oh,
Don't you belong in the
Ryder.
dumpster out back?
You're just as clever as I remember, which was not very clever at all. What do you want?
I just wanted to come say hi to someone of your stature. And Leverin kind of squeezes Alexander's shoulder as like kind of like a physical threat. I'll be seeing you in class.
Really? You'll be taking my classes? Are you sure you can fit in?
Well, while your family may be a little bit more wealthy, some of us are better at magic than others. And Leverin takes a step back, and I want to try and kick out the chair from under him.
Okay. Roll a sleight of hand. And I'll roll
All right.
his acrobatics.
Sleight of hand. That's gonna be an 18.
You kick the chair out, and he like tumbles to the ground, and he like
And
stands up.
I just start walking away.
While he's still on the ground, though, before he stands up, another glass of wine sitting on the bar tumps over and pours off the bar onto him.
Ugh. And he's kind of like standing there in horror as all this wine's on his clothing.
Levering kind of glances back. You may want to change your clothes there, Alexander. You seem to have soiled yourself. And I just keep walking away.
Aren't you clever?
You guys are making the bad guy right now. I want y'all to know that. Like, this guy has just kind of been an asshole, but you guys are going in on this fucking kid. Like, I don't even feel
I thought it was
like,
gonna be Puckett, but no, it's gonna be this.
when
guy.
he claps back, I ain't gonna even, like, Luth ain't even gonna be mad.
Told you.
Well, Paul's not gonna be mad. Luth might have to do some shit for story purposes, but like,
And
But
in
he
that
started
moment,
it. He started it. He
Levering,
was rude to you.
You feel a tug kind of like slink into your mind, and I need you to make a wisdom save.
Who?
Who's this?
Levering.
Ooh.
ooh. Man, you already used that. luck,
19.
didn't you?
Okay. The effect fades, although you knew something was there as you like continue on. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Just watching the show.
Yeah, Luke's
Sipping
just
mine.
kind of sitting there like crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, with the 22, do I notice the bird that just happens to be perched up in the rafters on the 22 on the perception check?
Essentially, because you rolled, I think, higher than her perception, so you probably would notice it in her. Like, you would notice a bird entering the bar,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
And the bird would be like on the head. It would be like pink down to like the bird shoulder, and then like the rest of the bird body would be like a deep green.
Luth notices but doesn't say anything right away because it's like he just like, that's a weird fucking bird, but then again, I don't know if I'm saying shit.
Would I notice Luth like glance up and see me since I'm kind of watching down?
I mean, I'm not trying to hide it, so if you're, I guess it would just be your passive perception, which is like a 15. So in theory, I guess, yeah, you'd be able to see it.
All right, so I rolled a 17 for perception.
Just glance up at the bird and just like, oh, all right. And then as Levern walks back over, just like, so why do we not like him now? Or why do y'all not like him? Like, I get he's an asshole, but like, that's, I mean, that's like half my village.
Levering sits down and looks at Luth. It's a very long story, but the short of it is our families don't get along very well due to political issues, and Alexander and I have always competed against each other because of that reason. So usually at any type of ball or competition, we would always go against each other. And it's
We
created
kinda-
a bad taste in our mouths.
Luke kind of cocks his head to the side. So your families don't like each other, which now means that you're not supposed to like him, and he's not supposed to like you. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, Luth. See, things in Sagemist aren't always the most simple.
I mean,
things.
I don't want to be rude, but that kind of sounds dumb. To not like somebody just because of who their family is, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just a commoner's perspective. You don't really have the luxury of hating people for no reason. Luke just kind of sits there and is like starts drinking the water, like Very much like this is a stupid thing that you guys are fighting over.
Make a perception check with advantage, you all.
With advantage?
Yes.
Wait, I need to
21.
go this way.
Nat 20 for a 23.
Okay.
Let's get. We're burning all the good dice rolls right now. This is not good. It's not good.
And with
That's gonna be
advantage,
low.
that means you roll twice and take the better one.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. My advantage was I rolled a 1 and a 4 for a 5. I have a
21.
+1.
Well, y'all have ears. As you're talking, you hear like this horrid scream kind of like come from behind where Levrin was, and as you look, this shadowy arm is like stretching out from the ground and like grabbing a hold of Alexander's cloak, and then more arms are like coming out of the ground and like pulling and sucking him in. And you watch as this student is just being drawn into this dark pool, as everyone's kind of like clearing out the area and like trying to get out of the way. These arms just start like latching out and grabbing other students and just tugging them in, pulling them into this darkness.
Luth immediately stands up, like jumps up out of the chair, and just like holds his hands out and just like fire. Then fires some Eldritch Blast at the darkness.
Oh,
You
God.
fire the Eldritch Blast and nothing happens.
They just hit.
Just hits and
Um,
doesn't dissipate
Nata-
or anything.
Natari's gonna try to cast Dispel Magic
As
at
you
3rd
do,
level.
You just wasted 3rd level spell slot.
You can't cast a spell in wild shape if I'm not mistaken, or can you?
Not at this level.
Not if.
Oh, can you not? Okay. Never mind.
It's a super high level thing
you
for a
turn,
moon
you
druid.
turn back into a person just hanging from the rafters. Ha!
Hang
The
on,
whole
let me see.
Okay, so I
that's
fired
not what I wanted.
the spells. Nothing happened.
Nope.
I'm going to try to. I'm going to reach down and I'm going to try to grasp to try to touch one of the tendrils coming out, and I'm going to say, this is a shocking situation, and I'm going to try to grasp shocking grasp
Okay.
and see what happens.
Okay. You all watch as Kiaran goes over, reaches down, and like this electricity kind of like permeates from her fingertips, and she goes to touch this shadowy hand, arm being that's like coming out of this darkness, and nothing seems to happen right away until the darkness like envelopes around her arm and then around her body and like grabs her and sucks her into the darkness.
Also, it's like quickly pulling people down. It's not like a slow thing.
Yep. And on that note, we are going to end it.
Dang it, I never got to. Well, I guess I saved a 3rd level spell slot in that case.
You know, I didn't think it was going to be that extreme when I touched it.
Woohoo! We will catch you all the next time.
I was hoping maybe a little bit of electricity would kind of disrupt its field.
Wake it up a little bit, you know.
Like I almost
That
cast
was
fireball.
extreme.
I won't lie.
I was
I got
was
real
literally
close to fireball.
That escalated
Oh,
quickly.
Jesus.
I guess
Like, I
you
had
saved
two-
me.
Yeah.
I was just say you saved me from casting daylight.
I mean that might have worked.
Seems
I
a
don't
little.
know.
I was thinking about Moonbeam.
Seems a little hit close to home.
Well,
Yeah, because daylight is basically like a super bright light that destroys any darkness created by a third level or lower spell. So it's kind of like Dispel Magic, but it only affects darkness and blinds people.
we'll find out next time how that goes. But thanks everybody for watching.